From Fox 56 News, the Weather Authority, this is a severe weather alert.
Good morning, I'm Krista Spadaccini. The Fox 56 Weather Authority is tracking the potential for severe weather across Kentucky, and Governor Andy Beshear is getting ready to talk about weather conditions in the state's response. We're going live to Frankfort now to have a closer listen.
The Operations Center is now at level 2. That's an upgrade since this morning and should show the seriousness of what we expect. And there is already some reported flooding in Louisville. And listen, we are not to the main part of this show. This is just some rain this morning. I'm going to go through some weather slides to show what we are facing. One takeaway is that this is going to be a prolonged weather event today. And do not think that you're going to be okay right after the severe thunderstorms move through, because as you'll see, the severe wind gusts come after the thunderstorms. And with the level of the wind will probably be more dangerous than the rain event itself. We have already lost way too many people due to flooding, tornadoes, and other weather events. So we want everybody to be safe today. Thankfully, a lot of school systems, including my kids, have already canceled today. I think that was a good decision. As you will see, the time especially they would have been let out would be really challenging. State government, we are closing our buildings to non-essential employees at 11 a.m. today to give people time to get home. So let's look at the weather forecast. This was as of about 9:30 when I got the last direct update. So this is a significant weather system that is going to move through the region today. Western Kentucky is already seeing some of it, but the most significant portions, and we'll show a full statewide map here in a minute, are going to be between noon and 5 p.m. So the main severe threats are for damaging winds, and we do think there is a real potential for isolated tornadoes. What you'll see when we move ahead here in a minute is we're going to have a fast-moving thunderstorm that may be moving at 70 miles an hour, and once that passes you, then we get winds that could be very risky, especially if you are out on the roads. Let's go to the next slide. All right, this gives you an idea of locally damaging winds as well as the corridor where we think we could see tornadoes. That is a lot of central Kentucky, including Bowling Green and even getting to South Central as far as Corbin and London, and certainly the Louisville, Frankfort, and Lexington area as well. When we look at the next one, the timing, we think it may move faster than what's up here, but this is to give people an idea of when they will see the most severe storms. Once again, the storm will move through and the wind comes afterwards. And these wind gusts will be enough to potentially move a tractor trailer driving on the interstate, which means they are dangerous road conditions. We certainly think we will see winds 55 miles an hour. I was told they thought they could get up to potentially 75 miles an hour. So people ought to expect that areas will lose power as well with this amount of rain and this amount of wind coming. We'll see trees uprooted. And so people should be prepared. Thankfully, it's not all that cold to potentially lose power. So make sure you have your kit in your house prepared with anything that you will need. Storm moves from the west to the east. It's kind of moving at a northeast. If you look at how the storms will come through with damaging winds. Again, that's the next slide. We can go to it. All right, we really want to focus on this slide because if you look at the confidence that we're going to have these gusty winds, it is high, which means the National Weather Service is pretty sure of this one. So sustained winds of 25 to 35 miles an hour, which are already an issue, but with gusts of 55 to 65 miles per hour. That can cause real issues on the roadway, also trees, power, and other issues that we will see. And again, I want to repeat that the wind will really kick in after the storm moves through. And that's something that we are not quite used to. So I don't want people to have confidence that once the thunder stops and once the rain stops, that it's going to be safe, because it's not. Okay, this is where we currently have a tornado watch. This is in the west, but as you remember, that other slide we showed, a large part of Kentucky is going to have the possibilities of tornado watches. As of this morning, there are 60 tornado watches. Really be attuned to the weather. Watch your local meteorologist, have your weather radio. We'd ask the media to provide as many updates as we can, because the storm's moving so fast. All right, when you think about how quickly it's moving through, if there is a warning, you're not going to have a lot of time. So again, it's better if you are at home, but you have to be weather aware, really alert today. And when you hear that warning, don't wait. Go ahead and get to that safest place in your home. All right. Additionally, with all this, we are going to have heavy rainfall, which is the next one. It's going to continue on and off in the morning and into the afternoon hours. The heaviest rainfall totals are expected north of the Western Kentucky Bluegrass Parkways. We've already had a reported 2+ inches in a couple places in Kentucky. So a flood watch is in effect through Friday afternoon, this afternoon, across portions of southern Indiana and central Kentucky, and flash flooding will be possible with these storms. A couple other actions that we are taking. We have a team of meteorologists, transportation, and communication staff, as well as Kentucky State Police that are in the EOC right now. I was there this morning, monitoring the storm and ready to respond. As we mentioned, the Kentucky National Guard is preemptively preparing. So after everything we've been through, I believe in being over-prepared. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Personnel Cabinet sent out guidance last night to state employees, to everybody who is able to telecommute and to work remotely is doing that today. Then earlier this morning, we notified that we were closing state office buildings at 11 a.m. to make sure our employees had time to get home. As mentioned, many school districts have closed for the day, so teachers, staff, and students can be safe. And we're also working on notifying our previous storm survivors in travel trailers. We've been communicating with them significantly. We have shelters set up for each of them. I think we have a slide of that. So especially knowing the trauma that all these folks have been through, we wanted to make sure that in counties that had been impacted, especially by tornadoes and flooding, that we had a shelter where people could preemptively go to if they so chose. I think everybody has a weather radio in every single one of the travel trailers, and we're even going door to door. If you're in an unsafe location, we urge you contact your local emergency management official and check those social media accounts or websites for local shelter options. As a reminder, don't call 911 for weather updates. 911 is reserved for emergencies, and if you're calling for weather updates, it might be preventing somebody who is in a very bad situation that needs help from getting through as quickly as they can. KSP requests that if you suspect that someone is stranded on the roadways, that you call them at 1-800-222-5555. 1-800-222-5555. Now I'm going to turn it over to Director of Kentucky Emergency Management to go over a few preparedness tips. Colonel Slinker.
Well, that was Governor Andy Beshear. You can continue to hear that press conference on fox56news.com or his app. And as you were hearing him talk, he mentioned about the lives that were lost to these severe weather storms, and that his main message is to stay home, stay informed, and don't take chances. There's potential for isolated tornadoes, some flooding. There's already flooding in Louisville. And our weather team's biggest concern is the strong winds that could reach up to 60 miles per hour or stronger. Governor Beshear saying that the winds can be so strong they can move a tractor trailer. He's already signed a state of emergency to allow him to move the Kentucky National Guard to other areas that have the greatest threat. And to keep us up to date on this potential for severe storms, we have our chief meteorologist, Justin Logan, over there at the Weather Wall. Justin, what's the latest that you can tell us?
Well, so far, that information is great. We need to get that out to our viewers out there. Our governor is doing a great job. What I want to show you on the radar now, Krista, is we're finally getting the rain out of our viewing area. All of it, okay? The warmest air is still across southern Kentucky. This is the squall line that's making its way toward us as we head into the afternoon. Now, let me zoom in. I'm showing you visible satellite. Anywhere you see some clearing here is where some sunshine is getting through the clouds. Sunshine on a day like today, not good. That adds more fuel, more energy for these storms to work with. I wanted to show that to you. We can look down to the south at times here in Somerset and also in London from our home view cameras. We've had a few breaks in the clouds. But Paris, right now, the showers have tapered off and we're still hanging to clouds in Lexington. Going to be windy, and we're looking still for some strong storms. Latest timeline, here it is. Looks like that line is speeding up just a bit. So while the Futurecast is trying to show the leading edge of that should start working into some of our western counties as soon as 1, it may be just a little faster, all right? But anywhere still mainly between 1 and 5. By 6, our viewing area should be clear of this. But as the governor was mentioning, once the storms move out, it is still going to be windy. So don't think that just because, the storms are past my house, that the threat for damaging winds is going down. Let me show you why here. This gives you the best perspective. We're at 11, still gusty, winds ramp up. Look in the heart of the afternoon. I'm expecting that squall line, remember, between 1 and 5. We'll look at after 5, 6, 7, 8. Winds between these could be gusts, 60, 65, maybe higher. We call this gradient winds. There's a big low pressure that's going to roll through. So breaking down our storm threats, our overall biggest concern has been for damaging winds. Isolated tornadoes, absolutely a possibility out there. I think our greatest risk zone for tornadoes in Kentucky is going to be the further south you travel into southern and southeast Kentucky. Hail threat is low and the flooding threat is also low. Best way to get weather information other than us right here on the TV side of things is by downloading our app, the Fox 56 News app. You just scan this QR code with your phone, and we're going to be tracking these storms for you as we go throughout the remainder of the day. Stay with the Weather Authority. We'll keep you posted. If anything becomes severe, we'll break into program to let you know about it. But for now, I'll send it back over to Krista.
All right. Thank you, Justin. 2 more pieces of important information. City offices in Lexington are closed starting at noon. And UK classes are also canceled starting at noon. As Justin said, for the latest information, you could check the Fox 56 app, the Fox 56 website at fox56news.com, or they'll cut in with the latest information. If not, our next newscast is at 6:30 p.m. Have a great day.